Hello, Team Whiteman. Chaplain Randy Croft here at the Spirit Chapel with a Spirit Thought for today. It's easy for us in circumstances like we're currently in to focus on what is not going right. The frustrations, the irritations, the inconveniences, even the anxiety and fear. It's easy to be overwhelmed by what is not going right, what is stressful and causing anxiety, and to develop a fearful and default negative mindset. But this doesn't solve the problem. It doesn't develop resilience. It doesn't help us through it. There's a resilience practice. Our master resilience trainers often teach this. It's called reframing. Reframing takes the stress that you and I are currently facing and looks at it through a different perception, a different perspective, into which we can actually consider an attitude of gratitude, being thankful. Let me give you an example. Several years ago, at my first duty station, I met a dozen Holocaust survivors. These are people you read about in books. You hear their stories of the horrific mistreatment, the loss that they faced. I remember staring at one gentleman's arm. At his arm, he had the purple tattoo, still there as a reminder of the evil of mankind towards one another. I listened to another man as he described getting off the railway car at the concentration camp, and his mother and his daughter were separated from him and went one direction, and he never saw them again. Most likely they were taken to the crematorium and murdered, and he was sent to the other workers in the camp to work and slave away, malnourished, mistreated, overworked, horrific again. He said he would pinch his cheeks every day when he'd line up outside because he wanted to look like he was healthy, because those who looked emaciated and those who looked too weak, or sometimes people fell down and fell out, the guards would take them away and you'd never see them again. He talked about how he overcame that. And I realized, listening to these amazing people, what they endured, I have so little to complain about. Over the years, I've also been privileged to hear and to meet some POW survivors from Vietnam, and to realize all that they endured, and yet I'm complaining because the commissary is out of peanut butter. I'm complaining because I may not be able to attend my son's college graduation because everything's on hold because of COVID-19. Yes, there are inconveniences and frustrations, but I have so much more to be grateful for. Let me break it down into something even much more simple. I have on my iPhone, I have the weather app, and I have Whiteman Air Force Base listed. When the weather's bad, I can look at it and say, well, it looks like it's going to be 20 degrees and maybe icy. I did that this winter. But I also have other Air Force bases listed on my app, bases I've never visited, people I know who currently work there or have worked there in the past. Good bases with important mission, but it's not my base. Minot, North Dakota, Eielson, Alaska, and Grand Forks, North Dakota. I remember one morning I was scraping the car window outside, and it was freezing and cold and wet and icy. And I pulled out my phone and I saw Eielson was going to have the highs for the entire week in the negative, minus 15, minus 3, minus 5. And I said, you know what? We're having a heat wave here in Whiteman. It's a simple reframing practice. It's kind of the practice that Paul the Apostle uses in the book of Philippians. He's writing from a prison. He's probably facing his execution. Some scholars think he was facing his execution, so he's writing to the church at Philippi to say, don't give up hope. And in that book, he writes more words about joy than any of his other letters. He says, rejoice always. I'm going to tell you again, rejoice. He says, don't be anxious about anything, but in all things, give thanks. Be grateful. He says, whatever's true, whatever's noble, whatever's good, whatever's praiseworthy, think and meditate on those things. He was the ultimate at being able to reframe and counting his blessings even from a Roman prison. This isn't just a master resilience practice. It's something that can help all of us. So when you talk to your kids or your dorm friends or friends in the unit or people that you work with, and when you talk about the concerns and the stresses, I want to encourage you to think about what's going right. Think about the blessings you do have. look through a different lens and reframe and find reasons to find the good even in the stress and the frustrating. I'm Chaplain Randy Croft. Thanks for joining us today for our Spirit Talk. Know that we're here for you at any time at 687-3652. Hang in there. We will get through this together. Remember, we're built Striker strong. Have a great day.